Hi, in this video I'm going to give you 3 tips for choosing an internet marketing mentor. And well, it starts with choosing an internet marketing mentor isn't a decision to be taken lightly. You're going to be working with your chosen mentor for probably quite a few months, maybe even quite a few years. So you shouldn't make a snap decision, but equally you shouldn't just use it as an excuse to procrastinate and think, oh yeah, I'll do that tomorrow, and then never actually take the step of using a mentor. It's a leap forward. It's not necessarily one well, definitely don't take it lightly, but follow these tips and we'll get some ideas. So first thing you need to do is actually work out what the format is of the mentoring, because there's no set format. So you need to find out what's on offer, and it could be that there's different things on offer depending on what you ask for or how you ask for them. That can happen. Some mentors will make themselves available face to face. Obviously that limits you to your geographic area or the distance you're prepared to drive. Others will schedule chats on the phone or on Skype. Others will offer email support, or it could be a mixture of all of these methods, plus quite often some support material to cover the, in quote marks, easier items. The thing, a bit like reading a textbook at school, except it's more likely nowadays to be a PDF or a audio, video, could be a mind map, and any other teaching method that works. And having access to a library of material as well as access to the mentor can seem attractive. You just need to double check the small print, as especially at the cheaper end of the market it's not entirely unusual for the pre-recorded training to be most if not all of the package you bought. There was one on sale recently where it was a 12-month mentoring package. You got a thing every week and you could schedule a call, but it's apparently not that easy to actually schedule the calls, so just double check. Second thing then, what accountability is involved, and that's one of the biggest plus points of moving on from being self-taught or reading books or even attending classes or being a perpetual student. And with a mentoring program you actually have a degree of accountability built in. It's very easy to fool yourself about what you've done. It's a lot less easy when you have to actually account to someone for your time and your results and tell them what you've actually done, especially when that someone is a step back from your business and isn't just yeah, okay, that'll do kind of person. And the more accountable you are, the better the results are going to be. It really is that simple. If it's, well, turn up each week or whatever for a group call, that's okay, but you won't get as much as if you're actually being quizzed. So think about it for a minute. If you've almost certainly bought or even attended courses that teach you things related to your internet marketing. If you're like most people, I meet more than one. But once you've attended the course or downloaded the product, that's it. There's no real "how are you doing" kind of follow up. You might get an email or two, but it's easy enough to ignore or delete those, and there's no monitoring to find out whether or not you've replied. So it really is up to you, and that means that the ideas often get neglected. But if you've got to report back at agreed intervals, you're much more likely to take action. And if you've ever bought or listened to any recordings of roundtable or mastermind sessions, and there are quite a few of those around and they can be very good, you know there's almost always at least one person who admits that they did the necessary work just so they could report back they'd done it. If they weren't attending that meeting, they wouldn't have done it. I've been in mastermind groups where you know the person that's going to give the excuse beforehand, and you know it's going to be pick one of these 10 reasons or whatever, and you know that's why they haven't gone on. And that's it. We've been left on a really long to-do list, never to be done. And there are people like that, and if you're one of those people, mentoring could be the kick up the backside that you need. And that's the last tip I'm going to use. Are you actually prepared to do the necessary work? Because yeah, there is work involved. Mentoring isn't one of these done for you products that you buy and suddenly you get 1 million visitors and 20 million sign-ups and all that kind of implausible junk. You've either got to do the work yourself or hire people to do it, and which of those options depends on why you've actually decided to go for mentoring in the first place. It could be you decided to add to your skill set and you couldn't get to the level you wanted to get to without outside actual personal help. And that's kind of a rarely mentioned option in mentoring, but can be really worthwhile if there's just something you're stuck on that you just need where mentoring meets coaching really, but where you just need an outcome, and there's a defined outcome, and it could be you only hire your mentor for what ends up to be a pretty much brain-frying hour in order to help take your skills to the next level. That's perfectly doable and can be the best way to do it. You just buy in the skill set, a bit like you buy a product, but much, much, much better, an order of magnitude better normally. Or you could prefer the regular nag of a weekly or monthly call where you've got to account for the work you've done to someone who's stricter than you'd normally be, so you don't use the weak excuses of, oh yeah, I didn't quite do that or whatever, but it actually helps your internet marketing business to move forward. And either way, you actually need to do the homework involved. And a good mentor will actually refuse to work with you if you don't do it. They'll say, well, you haven't done the homework for the last X number of weeks or call-ins or whatever it happens to be. I'm sorry, I'm not going to take your money because you're not getting the benefit. Because they know, and you know deep down, that you'll only get results if you do the necessary work that'll pretty much guarantee you'll get where you want to reach. And if you think we'd be a good fit for this kind of thing, contact me. There's a link below this video, and see whether we can work something out. And that could be for just a one-off hour, whatever it happens to be, to go through and, yeah, I can throw your brain quite happily, or we could do a regular meet, whichever. But if you think we'd be a good fit, drop me a message.